I hate to say it, but I'm not above cheating just a little bit and using this beautiful scenery of a beach in Costa Rica to motivate you to think about when's the right time for you to retire and to move it up in your priorities. It's super simple to postpone it, which is why in today's video, I want to share with you the 5 things that we all need to do in order to get ready for retirement, whether that's in 10 weeks, 10 months, or 10 years or more. So let's stroll on this beach and talk about it. And the first one, mea culpa, but I think you need to have a plan. You need to have a plan so you know financially, are you going to be okay? You want to go in with confidence. You don't want to go in with a rule of thumb, the 4% rule. Retirement is based on how much you're planning on spending when you're retired. And, it's not going to be a set amount every year. Yeah, I've been retired 6 months, so I'm still doing trips like this. I've never been to Costa Rica. It's been on my hit list, my bucket list for a long time. So my first couple years of retirement are going to be a little more expensive. So that's the first one, is to have a solid financial plan. I encourage you to work with a fee-only financial advisor. I know a lot of you are not going to do that. If you want to go it alone, please don't use a Google Sheet or an Excel spreadsheet. Use software that's designed to help you make the best decision possible. The software that I like is called Boldin, Boldin, Boldin.com. If you use this link here, you'll be supporting the channel. This video is not supported by Boldin, but I am an affiliate and you'll be financially supporting the channel. It's super affordable. It's about $120 a year. It comes with a 2-week trial. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is to, at least high level, think about how you're going to spend your time in retirement. You don't want to retire from something. Many of us after 20, 30, 40 years, candidly, we're tired of working. We're tired of putting up with the bureaucracy. We're tired of putting up with the politics. And it's nice to be the master of your calendar. I can tell you that's one of the biggest pleasant surprises that I had in retirement is just how much I enjoyed being able to wake up in the morning and say, what do I want to do today? I do like to surf, so I'm in the right location for that. But being able to control my schedule, both, on trips like this, but also, I would argue, probably more importantly, in the day-to-day of retirement. Just being able to spend my time the way I want to spend it, but thinking through ahead of time, at least have some idea how you're going to spend your time so that, unfortunately, the most common activity for retirees is watching television. It's over 40 hours a week, so many people replace their 9-to-5 job with 9-to-5 screen time, watching television all day and screaming at the television because they don't like the news. And I don't think any of us are thinking, I can barely wait to retire so I can watch more television. We all want more out of life than that. But unfortunately, if you look at how retirees spend their time, that's the default. If you're not active, and if you're not thinking ahead proactively as to how you want to spend your time, there's some really nice prompts that you can do. Thinking about, vision, what would your life be like if money were no object? And if you knew that whatever you decided to do, you would enjoy, how would you spend your time? And think about, do those types of exercises now so you can kick the ground running. Okay, so that was number two. Number three is, I hate to say it, I'm a victim of this as well, but number three is start flexing your spending muscle. It's super hard to go from being a saver to being a spender. And many of the people watching my channel have been working hard to save as much money as they can every year. They've been sacrificing, and I wish it was easy to flip that switch and to go from a saver to a spender, but it's not. Unfortunately, it's not easy to do that. So one of the things I encourage you to do is start flexing that muscle now. Start spending some money now. Start taking trips like this that maybe you otherwise, let's see if we can get the sun in there, that maybe you otherwise wouldn't invest the money in. And, by the time you're in your 50s, your early 60s, it's important to have your money working hard for you. And that frees you up to take some of your salary and take some of that money that you were saving and say, I'm going to invest this by flexing my spending muscle, and I'm not going to save it. I'm actually going to spend it and see how that feels. And I'm going to start that if you have a couple years before you retire. Start doing that a couple years before you retire so that when you do retire, you're more comfortable with spending money. Okay. The next one is just thinking about your fitness and your health. Because, right now, you're probably in the youth of your senior years. I'm in the youth of my senior years, right? I'm 60 years old. I'm hoping I have 20 healthy, active years. 20 healthy, active years, 1,000 weeks of healthy, active time in front of me. But you know what? If I lose my health, a lot of the things that I've sacrificed for, a lot of things that I've worked hard for, I'm not going to be able to take advantage of. So health is much more important than our wealth. So many of us, as just human nature, mea culpa, I'm guilty of this as well. We're more focused on our bank account balance than our health balance. For instance, for me, the men on my side of the family have a history of cardiovascular disease. So, my calcium score, which tells me that the health of my arteries is more important than my bank accounts. And I need to keep that in mind. I need to start every day thinking fitness first, fitness first. So I have 3 firsts. It's fitness first, it's family first, and by family I mean both my immediate family, but also relationship first. So fitness first, family first, and fun first, because I don't know how much longer I have to do fun things. Okay, so that's number 4 is taking care of our health. And number 5, we've addressed it a little bit earlier, is really the relationships. The difference between people that have a really happy retirement and people that don't have a happy retirement really comes down to relationships. And so often it's easy to isolate yourself. I recently saw a conversation online where single people were talking about how their married friends are retiring and they're isolating with their spouse. And the single people were saying, at some point, unfortunately, spouse is going to pass away, and I'm going to remember that my friend didn't spend time with me when he or she could have. And so casting a wide net, if you're married, you have a healthy relationship, and you want to spend time together, that's great. But we want to diversify our relationships. We want to make sure that we have many different dimensions of relationships. Just so that we have that support, just so we have that network, and the people that have walked this beach and left their footprints here before me, these are one of the lessons that we can learn from them. We can also learn about enjoying the journey until it's our time to retire. And that's why I made this video up here. It talks about 8 things to stop doing in your 50s and 60s in order to enjoy your journey until you get to retire. I'll see you in that video. Thanks for watching this one. Bye-bye.